Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to Old Coin Zee Collection, where every old coin tells a new story and where history hides in your pocket change. Today, we're stepping back into the heart of this coin 1940 a time, when the world was at war, nations were reshaping, and Canada was quietly minting a humble copper coin that would one day stir the hearts of collectors around the world, the 1944 Canadian 1-cent coin. Now, you might be thinking, what's so special about a 1-cent coin? After all, a penny is just a penny, small, ordinary, often ignored. But this 1-cent piece for 1944 is not just a coin. It's a snapshot of courage, sacrifice, and the resilience of a nation standing firm during one of the darkest times in human history. But let's imagine the world in 1944. The Second World War was raging on. Canada had been involved since the very beginning, contributing men, materials, and hope to the Allied cause. At home, resources were scarce, metal was precious, and every piece of copper counted. Yet the Royal Canadian Mint continued to strike the 1-cent coin, not out of luxury, but out of duty. Because even in hard times, money kept the country moving. The 1944 Canada 1-cent coin was made from bronze, a mix of copper, tin, and zinc. But during wartime, these metals were heavily rationed. Some years, even pennies had to change composition to save resources. Still, Canada kept the familiar design. On one side, the portrait of King George VI, the father of Queen Elizabeth II, facing left, wearing his royal crown. On the other side, the famous two maple leaves, symbols of Canadian pride and unity, resting on a single twig, a simple yet powerful image of strength and endurance. These coins were small in value, but mighty in meaning. Every Canadian soldier who left home for war carried the image of their king and their maple leaves in their pocket, a silent reminder of what they were fighting for. Imagine that, a penny that traveled through the mud of Europe, through the pockets of workers in factories, through the hands of children buying candy. For a single cent, over 44 million of these coins were struck in 1944, which makes them common in one sense. But their story makes them extraordinary. You see, not every coin survives the decades. Many were melted down, lost, or damaged. The few that remain in pristine, untouched condition, the ones that still shine with their original reddish-brown luster, have become treasures for collectors, and that's where the magic begins. For those who understand the language of coins, every scratch, every edge, every tone tells a story. The 1944 penny may look simple, but variations in minting, die errors, or even subtle imperfections can turn an ordinary coin into a collector's dream. Some coins have missed strikes, double dies, or unique metal tones caused by wartime shortages, and those are the ones collectors hunt for. Now picture a man in his 60s. Maybe he once found one of these coins in his father's drawer or in an old cigar box. To him, it's not just copper. It's memory. It's family. It's a small piece of history that connects him to a time when Canada was young, proud, and standing tall on the world stage. That's the real magic of coin collecting. Every coin tells a human story. So, what makes this particular coin so valuable today? It's the combination of rarity, historical significance, and condition. Some 1944 Canadian 1-cent coins, especially those preserved in near-perfect mint state, have fetched incredible prices at auctions. Experts and enthusiasts look for those uncirculated examples that retain full detail. The crisp lines of the maple leaves, the sharp profile of King George VI, and the smooth, even color of untouched bronze. When collectors find such a gem, they're not just buying a coin. They're buying time itself. They're holding 1944 in their hands. They're touching a moment in history that can never be repeated. And here's where the story turns from humble to astonishing. A 1944 Canadian 1-cent coin, in the rarest of conditions with unique minting characteristics and unmatched preservation, has been valued at an incredible $3.5 million. That's right, a coin once worth just a single cent has now become a fortune. Think about that. A penny that once jingled in a pocket during wartime Canada is now worth more than most people's homes. That's not just a number. That's history rewarding patience, passion, and preservation. For those of you watching, especially my friends in their golden years, men who remember when a penny could buy a piece of candy or start conversation, this is your time to look again. Check those old jars, those forgotten drawers, those boxes of coins passed down through generations. Because you never know, your small, forgotten penny might just be the key to a $1 million story. Every collector starts with curiosity, but it's love for history that keeps the journey alive. This coin 1944 Canadian 1-cent coin is more than metal. It's a memory stamped in bronze. A bridge between past and present. So, my friends, before you go, take one moment, like, share, and subscribe to Old Coin Zee Collection, where we uncover stories like this every week. Because sometimes the smallest coins hold the greatest treasures, and maybe, just maybe, your next discovery could be worth $3.5 million. That's the story of the 1944 Canada 1-cent coin, a coin of war, of pride, and of priceless history.